awesome. So I figure I'll give you a breakdown of who I am, what I'm trying to accomplish here, and then we can jump right into it. So
Yep.
my name is Taylor Yates. I work with a company called Daily Esports. We cover a wide variety of esports and gaming. I focus mostly on Fortnite, and what I want to do is help provide fans, viewers, an idea about players, and help tell stories more about who you are, how you got to where you are, and what you're doing in the future. So really just wanted to take 20 to 30 minutes to learn about you, the run you guys had in the FNCS, joining TSM, and maybe some about the World Cup if we have time, and anything else you want to share. So that being said, do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope, that sounds good to me.
All right, awesome. So first of all, who are you?
I'm MackWood ASAP. I'm a professional player for TSM, and I'm a professional. Or I already said I'm a professional Fortnite player, but yeah, I'm a professional Fortnite player for TSM.
All right, awesome. And where are you from, generally speaking?
I was born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska, and I still am here.
All right, awesome. And so, in your video game career, where'd you start off? What was the first video game you played?
I think I got into gaming in like very early. I started playing like Halo, and then I moved on to at the Xbox 360 and then the Xbox One, and then I finally got into the PC gaming. Like my first PC game was like CS:GO, and then I moved into H1Z1, and then that was about time when that game was dying, and I never really got into anything competitive. It was always just for fun, like after school and stuff. And then Fortnite came around, and I started streaming it, and I was always just like a pub stomper, just playing for fun. And then I started making some money, and then I realized that I was pretty good by the time I had like 20 viewers, so I got into like the pro scene a little bit and never expected it to go anywhere. And then when Winter Royale came around, I didn't even know about it because I like actually quit the game. So I came back and I qualified for that on like 2 months later after I quit the game. And like people in my chat were like, "Hey, do you know about the tournament going on?" I'm like, "What?" And I was such a pub stomper that in the first round I tried to set a world record for kills. Just had no clue what was going on. And then like in the third, so there's 3 rounds to qualify. In the third round, I like realized it was serious, and I actually did end up qualifying for heats. And then I somehow made it through heats without even knowing like the meta. Like I didn't even know that Deagle one-shotted builds until I was in like the first game of the heats. It was horrible. But yeah, somehow I made it through. Made $1,500, and I was telling people at school, I was like, I made money off of video games, because it was just crazy that I made $1,000 off of video games at the time. And then Complexity saw me, and then I got a salary, and I just like fully dived into competitive, and now I'm here. So it's been a wild ride.
Gotcha. And did you have aspirations to become a pro gamer? It doesn't sound like it, but did you?
No, I never really did. Like it was never my intent to become a professional player. It just happened, really.
All right. And did you start playing Fortnite about when it came out? You hopped from H1Z1 about the same time most people did over to Fortnite?
Yeah. I think I created my account like 2 weeks or maybe a week after the official release of Fortnite.
All right. Cool. And so what made you want to compete? Was it that initial competition where some of your viewers kind of just pushed you to it and you saw you could compete, or was there some other driving force that made you want to continue playing?
I think it was the realization that when I was getting in these scrims with these pro players just in like community servers, I was actually beating them. Like I was really destroying them like at the time, and I was like, this is weird because like I'm just a pub stomper, and these guys play the video game like under salaries and all that stuff. It was very early in the scene, but I realized that I was just as good as them. So I don't know, I just gave it a shot.
That's cool, man. And is there anything you wish you knew before you started competing?
Yeah. I wish I knew how stressful it'd be to compete under the Fortnite title, just with the constant changing meta, and then seemingly not caring about us, but still having a competitive scene. It's really weird, but the constant meta shifts are so stressful, and then not really knowing about events before they happen. It's usually an on the spot thing. When everything got announced for the finals in FCS, I immediately drove to Cal's house, 13-hour drive, the day of, and it's just awful how stressful it is. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. Could definitely work on some better communication over there at Epic. But that being said, what would your favorite meta or season be?
My favorite season is definitely I think season 8 was it, with all the slipstreams. The combat shotgun got announced. There's just so much mobility on the map. Is during World Cup qualifiers, the game was just in such a perfect position. You didn't absolutely need launch pads to win. It just felt super competitive. And I'm hoping that this next patch gets back to that.
So right before, or I guess during the World Cup finals, so I think that was season 9, because then season 10 they took away all the mobility and then have slowly added it back.
Yeah.
Alright, so then on a daily, weekly basis, what does preparing for competitions look like for you? And I know you play with Zex and Calculator during trios. I'm sure you're planning on someone for squads. What was that training look like for you on a daily, weekly basis?
It's just constant gaming. It's if there's scrims going on, we're always in the scrims. We never miss scrims. Every single day, that's a grind. And then after scrims, it's playground, just 1v1 each other. Sometimes it's even just having fun on the game, just because in general it helps your mechanics. So we're always playing the game. And then with squads, I think you asked who we're playing with, maybe, but I think we're gonna go with the duo combination. So Zex is gonna be playing with his teammate, his old duo Vinny, and then I'm gonna be playing with my duo Calc. So it comes together just added chemistry. I think is our plan for that.
All right, cool. I think that would work well for you guys. I know you guys have teased a couple different squads, trolled a little bit with some different teams out there. So, is this official, or are we going to add Vinny to the trio here?
Yeah, this is official. All
right,
no
awesome.
Troll.
So, let's hop into the FNCS and talk about your tournament run and what that entailed. So, just in general, how did it feel to win the first ever Fortnite Championship Series?
Oh God, it was it was the craziest feeling, because when you think about it, that event's not as big as World Cup, but me and Calc still won more money than we did in World Cup, which is sad and happy at the same time. So I was so ecstatic. And the prize pool difference, so first was 300,000, and I think second goes down to 114,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So just being able to win the crazy money in that prize pool is just insane. And then you get the respect that comes with being the season X champion, quote unquote. And it's just been crazy. I didn't really expect it. Well, we did work for it, but I never go into tournaments expecting the most because, Fortnite.
Hear that a lot. So how'd you, well, I know you and Calc duoed together. How did Zexro get thrown into that mix?
Honestly, we've just been in, a friend group, 1X. We've been in that together for a while now. And I think me and Zex have always got along pretty well. And then at the it was hot off of our, World Cup run. We both got, wins in the World Cup, so we're okay, we're obviously, good players on land. And then we've all done, we all qualified for World Cup, so we're we have to be good. So if we put three of us together, we should be really good, right?
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's pretty much our plan going into it. And then it was just building up chemistry the whole time, and we turned up. Actually, our trio did go through some rough patches. We actually almost split twice. That's just because I have a few not halfway through the trios we stopped performing a little bit. But that's just because we were all tilted, and then it was really falling out in our trio, and then we had a couple calls, we got it figured out. We're like, hey, we're not gonna do good in the finals if we keep hating on each other, and then we pretty much bounced back super hard, even better, I guess.
That's awesome.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
So you guys had some trials and tribulations. I know during the qualifiers you guys performed really well on the first day, and not as well as I would have expected you guys based on your early performance on the second day, but it was awesome to see you guys come together and take it all home.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now, do you guys define your roles on the team, or is it kind of just everyone does whatever need be at the time? Do you even discuss roles? Is that something in conversation with you guys?
Yeah, I'm like the set IGL, so I make all the in-game calls, and that's just a known thing in our trio. If I say something, it happens, but obviously they can pitch in ideas. We've streamed a couple times, and you can hear our comms. Everyone says stuff, but when it comes down to the final thing, I'm the one who decides everything. And then, Zex and Calic are just in my opinion, the two best fraggers in the game. Zex has, just the craziest aim I've ever seen. In his clutch in the first game of Heat 1. You can just see that. It's the craziest thing in the world. He just hits every single shot. And then Calic is just so mechanical. He'll get in your face when you're box fighting and just absolutely dumpster you. So it's just IGL skills combined with two raw talent players, and it works out.
All right, cool, man. And do you think adding Vinny to the mix will take some time, or do you think you'll quickly hop in to a pretty solidified chemistry since he duoed with Zexro? And how is that going to look with the roles there for you guys?
So our idea behind it is the duo thing, and I think that Vinny's the best support player in the game. So I think that support players are going to be huge. Not a player who just goes out and just does impact frags. Just someone who sits back and then plays off of other people. I think that's going to be the biggest thing in squad, is just finding that person that can play off of the trio. So I think that'll work out pretty well. It's not a super, team-defining role, a support player, so I think it should be pretty easy to work with them.
And during the FNCS, did you guys figure out these roles for your trio? Is that something you guys had solidified going in, or did it change a little bit? Did Zexro IGL at one point, or Calc, or was this the way it was from the beginning?
No, that was the way it was from the beginning. When we started scrimming, it just kind of, the first day you play with a team, you can just kind of tell who's who, and it's easy to see that. So it's been a thing since the beginning.
All right. And do you think your team's play style has changed from week 1 of the FNCS to the finals, and if so, how?
Oh my God, yes. The first week of the finals. Well, it changed since the first week of the trios. You want to go all the way back to the first week of the trio cash cup, those, because it's the craziest change ever.
All right, hey, I'm here to listen.
So in the trio cash cup, the very first one, we had no clue what we were doing in endgame, absolutely zero. So you can literally see in our points, I think we got 20 placement points and 90 kills in 10 games. And I think we placed 7th or something crazy. Pretty good. And it was just straight Elam points. The only team that beat us was a team that won, and I think they only beat us by 3 kills or something. So we had no clue how to play endgame, so we were just all right, we need to kill everyone. So we're just constantly W king, and then as we got our stuff figured out, we turned into just a strictly endgame team, no W keying at all. That's why people thought we wouldn't do good on tournaments. They're yo, this team W keys too much, and then in reality we didn't W key at all. So.
And was there something that happened internally that caused that, or you guys just realized, hey, if we want to do well on the final day, we really need to focus on getting those placement points?
Yeah. We realized that sometimes the people in the trio cups they're not the best players, and when we do go against the top 33 teams, we just need to know how to play endgame because it's just so much harder to WQ in those tournaments.
All right, cool, man. Do you have any other thoughts before we move on from FNCS? Anything else you want to share?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, cool. So, what are your thoughts on squads then?
Oh boy, I think squads is going to be just a huge lag fest, and I can't see it being the most competitive playlist ever because I just think there's too many factors that squads breaks like in the game, like just the lag, heal off, a whole extra person when you're box fighting. I just really don't like the idea, but we're still gonna go into it 100%. So it's I don't know. We'll just go with the flow, I guess.
All right. I know the idea has been floated out to lower the total teams maybe to 20 in squads. Is that something you get behind?
Yeah, actually I think that'd be great. I haven't really heard of that, so my first thought about that would be it lowers the amount of people that are landing at POIs, so I think there'll be more POIs open for squads, and so we landed at Frosty, and there was hardly enough loot for trios, so I didn't know how that'd be for squads, but now that you say that, I think there'll be more open areas on the map to get loot, so I think that'll work out a lot better.
Nothing confirmed, and I think some players have just thrown that idea out there. I don't think Epic's actually gotten behind it yet, nor do we even know what the map's going to look like come next week. So
Yeah, true.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good idea, though.
All right, cool. And so you just recently joined TSM. Let's talk about that. Tell me how that came to be. How did you become a TSM member?
I've always, been a TSM fan since the start. Like Myth, Hamlin, Daquan, all those guys. This is like in Fortnite, in my opinion, it's like the org to be in. This and FaZe Clan, and I was able to, do so well with Zach and then compete in so many different tournaments with them, like Twitch Rivals and all that, and it just opened up so many opportunities. And then, TSM reached out to me after we played so well. They actually reached out to me before we even won FNCS, but a lot of people don't know that for some reason. And it's just an offer I couldn't decline. I think, TSM is the best org in the world, and I'm so thankful to be on it. It's amazing.
Have you gotten to meet some of those guys like Myth and Daquan and, enjoy the benefits of being on that org?
Yeah, I met Myth and everyone else at TwitchCon just recently, so that was super cool.
Right. What are you most looking forward to being part of a big org like TSM? I know you were part of Complexity before this, but obviously TSM's a little different.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It was just super eye-opening, walking down there and everyone, saying like, "Well, what's up, Mac?" Knowing I'm on TSM, it's so much different. And then, what was that? What was the question again? My bad.
No problem. Basically, is there anything you're looking forward to being part of one of the top orgs in Fortnite?
No, I just hope to. Yeah, I just hope to, keep growing my brand, with TSM and do everything, I can with them to help me grow.
Awesome. All right. You have anything else you want to say about TSM? Otherwise, I got a few general questions for you to kind of wrap this up.
All right. No, I think we're ready to move on.
Cool. So, just in general, you've been in the Fortnite scene for a while now, since you started back in Winter Royale. What's just your favorite gaming experience, whether it just be you and some friends screwing around Fortnite or grinding some Halo custom games back in the day? What's been your favorite experience so far?
It was definitely H1Z, and I'd do anything to go back to the prime of H when is like the perfect mix of super toxic with the proximity chat and super fun. And then oh god, that game is literally perfect. I love H1Z1 and just messing around and pose with our friends is so fun. That's like people always ask me, what do I think was my best time in gaming? That was 100% it. Just late summer nights on H1Z1, man. It was so fun.
That's interesting. I would not have expected that answer. But I guess I didn't know you too well before we started chatting. So,
Yeah, I love H1.
Other than yourself, who's your favorite player, gamer, streamer?
Ooh, that's a tough. I think I'd go with Dubs. He's just a super funny kid, and he's one of the best players in the game. So I've always looked up to Dubs, and I actually thought he was cheating. When he first joined the scene. So that kid's just incredible, and he's super funny.
That's zero ping, right?
Yes, sir.
And outside of gaming, what do you like to do? What does Mac as a person enjoy besides playing video games?
I'm a big wakeboarder, so we have a cabin out here, and just going out to the cabin and in the summer is super fun, wakeboarding, then hanging out with all my friends, away from the technology. Actually, that's what my biggest thing to do outside of gaming.
Cool. I think that helps to do things outside of playing video games.
Yep.
Well, that's all I got for you, man. Is there anything else you want to say or share about yourself to your fans, to the team, anything like that?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. I appreciate the interview, man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, congratulations on winning the FNCS. Thanks again for your time, and best of luck to you, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Have a good one, though.
You too. Take care.